Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 15 favourite movies from the year 2007. I had an absolute blast picking these movies out. It was a better year, I think, in terms of movies from the 2000s. And yeah, just an absolute joy compiling this list, putting these films together. This is just my list, as always, my personal favourite 15 movies. Your list is going to be different as well. Some people might think there are some questionable choices on this list, but these are just movies I enjoy. And as always as well, I'm going to leave a full list of honourable mentions down below in the description. And yeah, that being said, going to get into it with number 15. So coming in at number 15 for me, we have Paranormal Activity. Yeah, this is the only Paranormal Activity movie I've seen. I was very late to the party with this movie. I heard about this movie through word of mouth. I remember when it came out and it just absolutely exploded. Everyone went to see it. Everyone said how terrifying it was. And I finally got around to watching it. And yeah, it's a really, really well-made, effective movie. Doesn't have all that rewatchability for me, but the techniques used in this film are absolutely terrifying. They really, really paid off, and they knew what they were doing. I know this spawned a shit ton of sequels, because that tends to be the case when original movies make a lot of money. But yeah, I have no interest in them, and I just really enjoy the first movie. Really, really is a surprise, and yeah, just really, really terrifying with what it executes. So yeah, that is my number 15 pick, Paranormal Activity. So coming up at number 14 for me is Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Now, is Spider-Man 3 a good movie? No, I don't think it is. Is it, better than the two previous Sam Raimi entries? No, I don't think it is. Is it perfect? No. But for me, Spider-Man 3 is an entertaining good time. I enjoy this film. I enjoy it for what it was. The negatives in this movie are outweighed by the positives. And there's just a lot of good stuff going on in this film. And I think because it still has that baggage of, the negative aspects of it, the stupid, silly dancing, the convoluted plot, too many villains. Yeah, the movie does suffer from all of that. But for me, it really, really does shine in what it does really, really well. I think it really got Sandman on point as a villain. I think his motivations are justified in this film. I think the sequence where he puts himself back together is just nothing short of fantastic filmmaking. It is just absolutely gorgeous to look at. No dialogue, just this character putting himself back together, and it looks gorgeous. I think they absolutely nailed him as a character, and I enjoy the third act of this film. I just think it's entertaining. Yeah, it has its problems. It definitely does, and I understand its criticisms. But again, there are things that it does right. The relationship between Mary Jane and Peter in this film, there are stakes there. There really are, relationship problems, real life problems that happen. And yeah, it's just an entertaining film. I enjoy it. I know it's riddled with its flaws, but for me, yeah, I do get something from it. But yeah, that's my number 14 pick, Spider-Man 3. So coming up at number 13 for me, we have Michael Bay's Transformers. This is possibly my favourite Michael Bay movie. I was so hyped to see this film when it came out. I had a blast with it at the cinema. I pretty much went to see this movie on my own, and the cinema was entirely empty. And I just had a great time with it. It was just a visual treat. I think what has to be commended about the Transformer films, as god-awful as the sequels are, the effects in these movies look great. And that's what I want from these films, what I want to get out of them. I don't, want to go into, deep plot or anything like that. I just want to be entertained. But for me, the first movie is still a really, really well-made, competent film. it is definitely the best of the bunch, and I can't really defend the sequels any further than that because they are hot garbage. But the first movie, I think, is definitely entertaining enough to still be a competently made film. It's got some great action set pieces. The soundtrack is pretty good. The characters aren't as annoying in this movie as the sequels go on, but yeah, I just really had a blast with it. I just thought it was a visual treat for the eyes more so than the brain. And yeah, it's just an entertaining film. I just enjoy it for what it is. So coming in at number 13, we have Transformers. So coming up at number 12, we have Frank Darabont's The Mist. Yeah, just what a creepy movie. Really, really atmospheric about all these people who get stuck in this little shopping supermarket. And there's a mist outside, and there's just these absolutely horrific creatures that live in this mist. And it's just about these people trying to survive. And this movie has possibly one of the most annoying characters ever put to film, with the religious nut woman in this movie. She is just an absolute parasite in this film. Absolutely horrible. And without spoilers, you are relieved with what happens. And yeah, this has one of the most frustrating endings to this movie. I know I'm not selling this film with these negatives, but in spite of all these negatives, I still really, really enjoy it. And yeah, the ending is just jaw-dropping. You'll either be frustrated or you'll find it hilarious. And yeah, it's just absolutely a great time. Really, really enjoy it. One of Thomas Jane's best roles. I think he's quite an underrated actor. But yeah, it's just, it's definitely worth a watch, this one. It's really creepy, really atmospheric. But it does have its frustrations about it. So yeah, that is my next pick at number 12, The Mist. So coming in at number 11 is a movie that is a lot more lighthearted, and it is Hot Rod. I have such a great time watching this film. It is side-splittingly funny. Just really enjoy it. It's Andy Samberg pretty much plays this stunt driver, but he's not very good. Of course he isn't. And he just hangs about with his layabout friends, and he's trying to sort of outwit and outdo his stepfather, played by Ian McShane. And he's always constantly putting him down. And yeah, he just wants to sort of do this big event and show up his stepdad. And it's just really, really funny. Great set of cast of characters. Great one-liners in it. Yeah, it's just a really, really funny time, this movie. It's a great comedy. Went under the radar for me. Saw it when I was at school, coming to the end of my school years. And yeah, just an absolute blast with it. Just, yeah, didn't half make me chuckle. So yeah, just missing out on the 10th place is Hot Rod, coming in at 11. So yeah, that is Hot Rod. So cracking into the top 10 now, coming in at number 10, we have Death at a Funeral. Similar to Hot Rod, this movie is a bit more realistic, it's a bit more grounded, but it still delivers on the laughs. It delivers heavy on the laughs. I just absolutely enjoy this film, it's great. It is pretty much this funeral, of course, this family who they've lost their dad, and from the get-go, from the opening of this film, it is downhill and everything goes wrong in the best ways possible for this type of movie. It is, yeah, it's just horrific. So much from the opening where the wrong body turns up at the funeral to, you know, someone accidentally being high on drugs and taking all their clothes off. It is just horrendous, and I love every second of it. It is an absolute joy. This movie showcases some great British talent to it as well. Just phenomenal actors, and yeah, it's just an absolutely hilarious time. So if you've not seen Death at a Funeral, check it out. Yeah, so that comes in at number 10 for me. So yeah, that is Death at a Funeral. So coming up next at number 9, we have Tim Burton's Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street, starring Helena Bonham Carter, and of course Johnny Depp as a title character. I was really pumped for this film round about the time it came out. I loved anything Tim Burton and Johnny Depp did. I thought when the two of them put their heads together, they can really sort of do no wrong. Apart from the Roald Dahl's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory remake, but yeah, I was really pumped for this one, and it didn't disappoint. The fact that it was a musical didn't put me off at all. I actually really enjoyed the songs in this film, but I wasn't expecting it for it to be as impactful as a bloodbath as it was. The absolute gore and oceans of blood that this movie throws at you is just a treat for horror fans. I just think it's great. It's really violent, really creative as well. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous looking movie with an absolutely amazing supporting cast as well. Alan Rickman and Timothy Spall. Yeah, just really, really wonderful. Great story as well. You can understand Sweeney Todd's motivations in this movie. And the ending's pretty brilliant as well. So yeah, really enjoy this one. So coming at number 9 for me, we have Sweeney Todd, the Demon Barber of Fleet Street. So coming up at number 8 for me, we have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This is kind of a special Harry Potter film because of its release. This movie was the movie to be released when the last book was also being released. I think the two of them had a week sort of in between their releases. It was only a week. And yeah, it was just absolutely massive. I remember all of that buzz of it, when it came out. And yeah, it's a great advanced step to take in the Harry Potter story. Something big has obviously happened in the previous film, really important to Harry, but there's no witnesses, and this movie deals with the repercussions of having people not believe you. And yeah, it's just a really, really awesome step to take without going into spoilers and going into too much depth about it. But the way that this movie ends leads into something bigger is going to happen. It sets up the last two stories so well, and yeah, it's just really, really well done. It's kind of like things aren't going our way, we need to take matters into our own hands, and I just love that about this film. I think it's great. So yeah, really enjoy it. So coming in at number 8 for me, we have Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. So coming up next at number 7 is the movie that actually won Best Picture for 2007 at the Oscars, and it is the Coens' No Country for Old Men. Yeah, this is just a fabulous, gritty western. Really love the look of this movie with a great cast. Tommy Lee Jones, Woody Harrelson, Josh Brolin, Javier Bardem. Javier Bardem is absolutely terrifying in this movie. Just the way he has this cold, whispery voice to him. And he, talks to people and he, decides what's the most you've ever lost on a coin toss. And he just has this real ghostly-like presence to him in this film. Just absolutely terrifying. The way he goes around killing people with this this cattle stun gun is just absolutely horrific. Yeah, it's just a great suspenseful western which just has great atmosphere, great plot, and a really, really awesome ending, in my opinion. Really, really enjoy this one. But Javier Bardem steals the show absolutely in this film, and it's another Coen great film. So yeah, that is my next pick, No Country for Old Men. So coming in at number 6 for me is David Cronenberg's Eastern Promises, starring Viggo Mortensen. Yeah, this is a really grounded, great gangster movie from Cronenberg. Again, similar to sort of, coming off the tails of History of Violence, also starring Viggo Mortensen. This was just another great grounded movie from Cronenberg when we're used to seeing, all of these body horror-esque type of movies. And yeah, this just had a great plot to it. I was really invested in it, about these two gangsters who have a bit of a, disturbing backstory with what's gone on, without sort of getting into too much of the plot of this film. But it led to this absolutely great scene, great action scene that I wasn't expecting from Cronenberg. It's this kind of like Turkish bathhouse. It's just absolutely enthralling and gripping, and yeah, it's just a really, really well done gangster movie. It's not for everyone, but for me, I just think it's a great film. It's a great double feature with a history of violence as well. For me, this one, but yeah, just have a fantastic time with it. One of Cronenberg's best, in my opinion. So yeah, coming in at number 6, we have Eastern Promises. So coming in at number 5 for me is Edgar Wright's Hot Fuzz, starring Nick Frost and Simon Pegg, the second entry into the Cornetto trilogy. Yeah, it's always, kind of a coin toss for me between which is my favourite out of the Cornetto trilogy. It is going to be between Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz for me. But yeah, this was just a great satire on the cop action movies. Really, really enjoy this one. Yeah, Simon Pegg is pretty much a cop who is top of his game. He's that good, in fact, that he's starting to show everyone up and make them look bad. So his department that he works for decides to relocate him at this village where crime is pretty much non-existent. And yeah, there's definitely more to meets the eye than this little village that he's relocated to. And that is basically where the movie just takes off. It's wonderful. It's hilarious. The cast is amazing. Timothy Dalton's just absolutely great in this movie as well. Really, really enjoy anything he's in. And yeah, just some great, snappy, funny dialogue in it. Similar editing to Shaun of the Dead as well. Just really, really choppy, really, really fast-paced, and blink and you'll just miss so many jokes in this movie. Everything is just at rapid fire, but absolutely really enjoy it. Great satire as well. So yeah, that is my next pick at number 5, Hot Fuzz. So coming in at number 4 for me, just missing out on the podium places, is Disney Pixar's Ratatouille. This for me is definitely one of Pixar's best looking movies. This movie is absolutely stunning. What a great way to sort of make a movie about chefing and food and make it entertaining and enjoyable with some great characters. You've got this rat, Remy, who's just, kind of an outcast to the rest of his family because he actually enjoys what he eats rather than just eating for survival. He just, gets creative with all of these flavors, and he is pretty much a chef in a rat's body. And yeah, he just ends up sort of meeting this human, and they form this partnership where he can sort of be a chef through the human's arms. And that's the movie, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Paris has never really looked better in any film, in my opinion. It just looks absolutely stunning, the scenery shots of it. And it's just got, charm by the bucket loads. And with this movie, it's just absolutely wonderful. Real treat. One of Pixar's best. And I just have a great time with it. Yeah, this movie is just absolutely delectable. So yeah, really enjoy this one. So yeah, coming in at number 4 for me, we have Ratatouille. So getting into the podium places now and taking the bronze medal for me at number 3 is David Fincher's Zodiac. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this movie the first time I watched it. I thought it was a bit slow. But yeah, on rewatch, it really pays in dividends, and it really is to the movie's benefit, I think, on reflection. And yeah, it obviously follows the real life serial killer of the Zodiac killer, and the retellings and what went on with the witnesses and everything. And yeah, it was a real interesting movie. This one, absolutely great. Really enjoyed it. Some of the deaths in this movie are just hard to watch. They're just absolutely horrific, and they just feel so realistic. But yeah, great cast as well. Mark Ruffalo, Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal, Anthony Edwards. Phenomenal cast. So well acted. The scenery in the movie as well looks absolutely gorgeous, and it's so suspenseful. Yeah, just one of David Fincher's best movies, in my opinion. Really well executed. And yeah, it leaves you to sort of make your own mind up and, come to the conclusion yourself as to what happened. And it's just really a great, interesting movie. So yeah, coming at number 3 for me, we have Zodiac. So cracking into the top 2 now, coming in at second place for me is a movie that I don't know anyone else who's seen this film. I really can't recommend this movie enough. I have an absolute great time with this film. It is not a rewatchable film in terms of, I feel I'm in the mood to watch it, but I'll explain more about it. And yeah, coming in second place for me is The Man from Earth. Yeah, this really surprised me. It's a very small movie. The whole movie pretty much takes place in one location at this cabin, and it is about a group of teachers who are all friends, and they have decided to get away for the weekend because one of their friends is leaving his job. He's moving on to somewhere else. And what sort of unravels in this movie is the teacher who is leaving has a big secret. And that secret is that he is Jesus Christ. He tells his friends that, you know, he is Jesus Christ, and they have all the questions that you would expect them to have. It leads for amazing, gripping conversation. The scenarios in this movie are just absolutely realistic. You buy what everyone says. The movie is in no way Bible bashing, and it isn't preachy at all. Don't expect that going into it, because it's not. This movie is clever and it has a brain about it, and the script is just bar none flawless. It is wonderful. I just enjoy it that much. It's just a great film. Absolutely wonderful. The acting in it is top notch. Probably the most recognizable actor in this film is probably Tony Todd. But yeah, I cannot recommend this movie enough. Even if this is a great movie that you can watch it and go, that was amazing, but I'm not in any rush to rewatch it. It deserves to be seen at least once. It is just absolutely wonderful. I can't oversell it enough. You know, you are sort of second guessing and questioning everything that you're being told in this film. It is just absolutely wonderful. Really enjoy this one. It's really solid, tight script, amazing acting, and yeah, just absolutely phenomenal. I was glued to the screen from start to finish. So yeah, coming in at second place for me, we have The Man from Earth. So coming in at number one for me, taking the gold medal, it really was no other option for me. I love this movie. It's a perfect 10 out of 10. And it is Paul Thomas Anderson's There Will Be Blood, starring Daniel Day-Lewis and Paul Dano. This movie really put Paul Dano on the map for me. I think his acting is absolutely phenomenal. You can absolutely, you know, keep up with Daniel Day-Lewis. The two of them are just absolutely great in this film. Daniel Plainview, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, is just an amazing character for me. This relentless oil baron who will stop at nothing to get what he wants. He is terrifying at times, he's relentless, and all at the same time he has this pleasant charm about him sometimes that, you know, he's calculating and he's manipulating whoever he's talking to try and, you know, work that charm to get what he wants. He's just brilliant in this movie. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. The movie looks gorgeous. The soundtrack is amazing. And yeah, this for me is just an all-round home run of a movie. It's just got amazing characters, amazing sequences, powerhouse acting, particularly all the church stuff that goes on in this film. Yeah, it's just wonderful. I know some people might find it boring, but for me, I was just engaged. Similar to Man from Earth, I was hooked from start to finish. Absolutely enjoyed it. I love all the quirky dialogue in this movie. All the stuff towards the end about the milkshake is just great. Yeah, I just adore this film. I have a blast with it. It is a bit more rewatchable for me than Man from Earth, but yeah, it's my number one from 2007. So yeah, that's my number one pick, guys. There'll Be Blood. So yeah, those are my top 15 favourite movies from the year 2007, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm going to leave it there and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.